When it comes to Marvel's Fall of X storyline, there's one thing everyone agrees on. It changed the X-Men's status quo in profound ways. Krakoa, once a symbol of mutant hope and unity, lies in ruins, and the mutant population is scattered and in danger once again. But as the dust settles, some of the biggest mysteries remain unsolved, which open questions from Fall of X still haunt fans. And where do the X-Men go from here? Let's start with the biggest one. What is the fate of Krakoa itself? We saw the nation besieged by Orcus and ultimately broken, but Krakoa, as a living island and key character in its own right, was left in an ambiguous state. Is the spirit of Krakoa dormant, dead, or merely waiting for mutantkind to return? Did any part of its consciousness survive the attack? And if so, is there a pathway for mutants to reclaim their home? Or is the dream of Krakoa over, replaced by a new future altogether? For a place that grew from a backdrop to a central part of X-Men lore, the ultimate fate of Krakoa is perhaps the most poignant, unresolved question. Next, let's talk about the missing mutants. With most of the population driven into hiding, dead, or in stasis, and the mass exodus through the gates cut off, the whereabouts of dozens, perhaps hundreds of key characters are a mystery. Emma Frost and Kate Pryde survived. Nightcrawler was seen in the shadows. But what about the likes of Magneto, Polaris, and some of the young generation who never resurfaced? Are they undercover, biding their time, or have they been lost in ways we don't yet understand? With long-standing X-Men like Cyclops and Jean Grey facing uncertain fates, the roster of who's truly gone remains deliberately unclear. Which mutants survived and where are they regrouping, and what of the five? The resurrection protocols were the linchpin of Krakoa's promise, offering mutants an escape from death itself. With the loss of Krakoa's infrastructure and the five separated, is resurrection still possible or permanently lost? The fate of characters like Hope, Summers, and Elixir has been left ambiguous at best. If the resurrection protocols can never return, what does this mean for the future of mutant immortality? Or is there some secret, hidden reserve, the hope in a bottle, as it's sometimes described, that could bring resurrection back when least expected? The nature of Orcus manipulation is another source of lingering mystery. Orcus clearly played the long game, exploiting human fear to shatter mutant society. But did they act alone? The organization's tendrils spread across governments, corporations, and even other villain groups. Who exactly is at the top of the Orcus chain? Are there still double agents among the mutants, or even false flag operations yet unresolved? The Marvel Universe rarely leaves villains completely vanquished, and some hints imply Orcus might have codependent relationships with figures as yet unseen. Is there a bigger, darker mastermind, or have we truly seen the worst? Then there's the matter of Moira McTaggart. Once a mutant savior, now a controversial villain, Moira's motivations and endgame remain shadowy. After her betrayal, Moira was left in a precarious position at the close of Fall of X. But her knowledge of mutant history and her repeated lives suggests she has secret moves yet to play. Is Moira seeking redemption, or will she double down on her attempt to erase mutantkind? What secrets did she never reveal, and could she become either a powerful ally or the X-Men's most disruptive adversary? Another open thread: the influence of artificial intelligence and the threat of post-humanity. Fall of X touched on the rise of AI as an existential danger to mutants and humanity alike, gesturing toward the greater threat of the machines. While Nimrod and Omega Sentinel played major parts, the full scope of artificial intelligence's takeover especially, with the looming threat of the Dominion, remains a puzzle. The machines destined to replace everyone, or is there still a way for the X-Men to turn the tide? Finally, the broader question: what is mutantkind's role in the world now? With the idealism of Krakoa shattered, do the X-Men return to being outcasts, vigilantes, or could a new unity emerge from the ashes? Can former enemies reconcile, or will distrust among mutants undermine any hope of rebuilding? The ideological rifts between different factions, from Wolverine's pragmatism to Storm's leadership and beyond, set the stage for new conflicts and alliances. While Fall of X delivered seismic shifts and heartbreaking losses, it also seeded mysteries for the future. The fate of Krakoa, the missing mutants, the resurrection protocols, and the tangled web of Orcus and Moira all remain unresolved, ready to be picked up in the next arc. For X-Men fans, these lingering questions are not just loose ends, but the first hints of a new era on the horizon. Where mutants go from here remains to be seen, and that's what makes the X-Men saga endlessly fascinating.